These are our key implementation partners. So, as you can see, PSN, led by the erudite and brilliant Professor Osifo, has its pride of place there on the right. We have FENPIA, and Dr. Oke Akpa will also validate that they've had a lot of meetings with both the coordinating minister and the Minister of State. You have other partners, even NAPSA, and I'm shocked that WASPEN is not here. Somebody is going to get a query for leaving out WASPEN. WASPEN is the West African Society for Parenteral Nutrition, headed by Dr. Theresa Pounds. So this is the equally brilliant team of implementation partners who will draw down from the Unlocking the Value Chain initiatives and make sure that these initiatives grow the sector, grow the economy, improve access to medicine security, and impact lives. And so I'm going to just move quickly into some of the illustrating projects. Under PVAC, we, under the Unlocking the Value Chain, there are about 12, 15 thematic areas, but in the interest of time, and because I know that the ministry has been engaging with stakeholders, I'll mention just a few. And as you know, the agency that I lead is one of the most collaborative agencies. We are open to partner with any new ideas that may come up. And so the medicine security concept is something that we made sure guided the development of PVAC. Next slide. And then these are the key interventions that have already begun to happen. So you would recall that an executive order was announced, the first in the healthcare sector, but focused primarily on pharma. The slide on your left-hand side, because a lot of times, like we witnessed with Executive Order number 3, where government said that public institutions should procure locally manufactured medicines, but for which evidence is a bit shaky as regards whether that is being religiously followed. What we've decided to do now, as is exemplified in the poster on the left, is we're going to call a high-stakes meeting in Lagos. We're going to bring the CBN governor. We're going to bring the FIRS chairman. We're going to bring the Comptroller General of Customs, so that that executive order, which has now been gazetted, everybody who wants to use that executive order will be engaging directly with the government agencies that are in charge of that line of action. And on the right-hand side is a screenshot from my minister's Twitter account. You'll be glad to know that the very first meeting, in fact, that meeting held on the 10th of January 2024, when some of us were still relaxing in our villages and our country homes, we had already brought an entity. The bottom left picture is an entity that we've been developing for the past 3 years that is coming in to establish a commodities manufacturing line and vaccines manufacturing line. I'm talking about a capex of between $50 and $70 million in Nigeria. The minister had that as his first meeting this year. And I'm really glad that colleagues in the pharma sector have also picked up on this. I'm aware that Collexa Biosensor, is Collexa Biosensor in the house? Okay, well, colleagues are also picking up that to begin to work in those areas. So these are some of the areas where, based on PVAC and based on the focus on the pharma sector by the ministry, there will be grants, there will be low interest loans, there will be pooled procurement, there will be increased employment all through the sector, all geared towards achieving medicine security and catalyzing socio-economic objectives. Next slide. So these are other interventions. The photograph on the extreme right is the EU grant, which was secured and announced in Q1 of this year. We're in the modalities of operationalizing that. Kindly note that the grant is a sector-wide grant. So PSN will be involved in the implementation of this grant. WAPCP, who worked with us in the artificial intelligence project, will also be involved. ACPN, we've started to talk to colleagues, is also one of the bodies that we've put forward to be involved in the implementation of that grant. And on the extreme right is the authority publication. Is an area that we've been developing for the past 3-4 years, and we're at the stage where we're beginning implementation, which is artificial intelligence. And let me just commend colleagues who have realized the power of data. Is Victory Drugs in the house? That's an entity in Lagos that is doing good things with data, and we are scheduled to begin a partnership with them in Q1 of next year. That is one area. In fact, in one of the presentations this morning, one of the companies touched upon that, and I think that's an area where pharmacists need to begin to play a bigger role. When we were young, we used to think there were only 4 broad areas in pharmacy. If it's not pharmaceutical chemistry, it's pharmacognosy. If it's not pharmacognosy, it's pharmaceutical microbiology. If it's not pharmaceutical microbiology, it is pharmaceutical technology. But now, colleagues have begun to expand the space. We're playing big in policy. We're playing big in supply chain. We're playing big in artificial intelligence. We're playing big in clinical trials. And this is what is required so that we can expand to fill up the space that is being created. When we won that grant for 18 million, NIPRID won it for Nigeria. And I took it as a badge of honor to go and present to my new ministers when they resumed last year. And I told them, honorable ministers, NIPRID put together the proposal and did the roadmap that secured 18 million euros, which is approximately 30 billion, one of the biggest grants in Africa for this area. My minister said, how much again? He said 18 million euros. He said, that is small. He said, that is small. And in working with this team in the Ministry of Health, I can tell you categorically, I can't mention specifics because a lot of those projects are still under development, but I can tell you categorically that the space that is being developed for pharmaceuticals, if we don't swell up our capacity to absorb these opportunities as they come out, what will happen is that we will have colleagues from India, colleagues from China, and colleagues from other parts of Africa coming in to take those opportunities.